Hey, what's up everybody? Prime22 here, bringing you another episode of Transformers Lore. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the first engagements between G.I. Joe and Cobra forces in Primex 984.0 Gamma. This engagement was Operation Lady Doomsday. Universe, Primex 984.0 Gamma. Date, 1982 CE. 1982. At the time, global politics was dominated by the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union, and as part of this Cold War, there was an arms race to develop better weapons in the event of a Third World War. In the United States, one of the ways they attempted to gain the upper hand in the arms race was the Doomsday Project. The Doomsday Project was a highly confidential project due to its controversial nature. The goal of the project was to develop a weapon system to be used in the event of an attack, likely a nuclear one by the Soviet Union. This Doomsday Project would be a weapon system used to destroy all life on the planet. Indeed, the Doomsday Project was the final stage in the idea of using the concept of mutually assured destruction as a deterrence for World War. One of the workers on the project was Dr. Adele Burkhardt, the United States' top nuclear physicist. However, the government lied to her about the nature of the project, and once she had already developed what they needed her to add, she was horrified to find out what the project's true intentions were. As a result, she came out to the public about the confidential project. Branded a traitor, the United States ordered her to come to a hearing in Washington, D.C. However, while en route, her train fell under attack by Cobra forces under the command of the Baroness. Cobra, a vile terrorist organization with a goal to rule the world. They're based out of Cobra Island, an island in the Caribbean with a native population that they took over seemingly recently. It should be noted that while they control Cobra Island, this Cobra Island will not be the best known Cobra Island, as they would one day create another Cobra Island. Yes, there are two Cobra Islands later down the line. The one they have right now is the one no one cares about. The Baroness succeeded in kidnapping Dr. Burkhardt, sending the United States into a frenzy at the Pentagon. General Austin is panicked at the situation, as this could be an embarrassing and threatening situation for the United States, and the heavy defenses of Cobra would mean a difficult battle. However, Austin does have an ace in his sleeve. One of his subordinates is General Lawrence Flagg, who is in turn in command of a newly developed Special Forces unit called Special Counter-Terrorist Group Delta, or as it's better known by its codename, of G.I. Joe. Flagg suggests to Austin that the time to unleash G.I. Joe is now. G.I. Joe is under the field command of Colonel Clayton Abernathy, better known by his codename Hawk, and under his command are the various G.I. Joe members like Zap, Grand Slam, Short Fuse, Scarlet, Steeler, Flash, Grunt, Clutch, Stalker, Breaker, Rock and Roll, Snake Eyes, and Shooter. The secret team is based out of an underground base called the Pit, which lies underneath the Army Chaplain's Assistant School at Fort Wadsworth. It's not long before Hawk is briefing his forces on their mission, to attack Cobra Island and retrieve Dr. Adele Burkhardt. Many Joes express their disdain for risking their lives to save a traitor, but Hawk reminds them that they all took an oath to defend the Constitution, which guarantees the right of every citizen, even if they disagree with the government. They develop their battle plan. They know that the island has a native population and that Cobra is ruling out of an old fort that was once created during the days of the Spanish Empire. The island is covered in radar and surface-to-air missile launchers to take care of any attacks from the air, with a garrison strength of 1,200 men. The island is also covered in wires, mines, tank traps, machine gun bunkers, and an electric fence surrounding the fortress. Hawk divides the unit into two teams, a primary and secondary force. In the primary force, Grunt, Stalker, and Short Fuse are tasked with taking out the airfield, leaving an escape aircraft in one piece. Flash and Breaker are tasked with dealing with the radar. Scarlet and Snake Eyes will take out the electric fence generator and the fort. The primary team is tasked to clear the way for the secondary team that will launch the frontal assault on the fort. At 1920 hours, Cobra Commander and the Baroness are speaking with Dr. Burkhardt when the commander receives a report that enemy forces have been spotted north of the island, and at 2015 hours, the primary team arrives. Cobra Vipers are present and open fire, though G.I. Joe ends up pushing them back and securing a beachhead, partially thanks to Stalker's jump, a sort of jetpack. At 2035 hours, Cobra Commander receives reports of the loss of the beachhead by retreating troops themselves. Cobra Commander believes G.I. Joe will launch a landing at a closer beach, and that the current attack is a distraction, so he begins to assemble forces at the fort to defend it. At 2045 hours, Flash and Breaker make their way to the radar and manage to neutralize it. At 2050 hours, Snake Eyes and Scarlet begin their infiltration of the Cobra fortress, and at 2055 hours, Stalker's unit arrives at the airfield. They launch their assault at 2100 hours, but find that the airfield has only dummy planes with dummy pilots. The fire that goes up in the attack gives the signal to the secondary team under Hawk to begin their invasion. At 2120 hours, Stalker's unit rendezvous with Breaker and Flash at the fishing village on Cobra Island, and at 21:30 hours, the secondary team lands closer to the fortress, launching a full-scale assault on the fort. At 21:40 hours, Snake Eyes and Scarlet destroy the main generator in the fort. Seeing this, Cobra Commander engages a new plan. He sends out a group of Vipers to escort Dr. Burkhart away from the battle. At 2200 hours, Stalker's team goes through the fishing village, finding that Cobra apparently massacred the native population of the island, even killing the women and children. They set up an ambush there, and at 22:30 hours, they attack the convoy with Dr. Burkhart, only to find that this was a diversion as Burkhart is really the Baroness in disguise. At 22:50 hours, the real Dr. Burkhart is taken by the Cobra Commander to a helicopter to escape the battle. Scarlet and Snake Eyes intervene. Burkhart takes a bullet for Scarlet, though Cobra Commander manages to escape in the confusion. Burkhart is loaded onto the Cobra helicopter by G.I. Joe, who return her to the United States. The battle is declared an American victory, with the Cobra presence on Cobra Island eliminated. Burkhart thanks G.I. Joe for rescuing her, noting that she still feels that her actions and beliefs are valid, but now thinks that there are still those somewhere in the Pentagon who actually care. However, after the battle has concluded, at 00:30 hours, Cobra Commander and the Baroness, the last people on the island, make their escape on a plane that they had hidden in reserve, ready to return to their true headquarters. War between Cobra and the United States, or more specifically their elite G.I. Joe unit, has begun, and the world will never be the same. And that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you like, check out social media links in the description, and have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.